Realtor with Bridgewell Real Estate Group, and welcome back to the Bridgewell Group YouTube channel, where I talk about all things real estate in the Greater Vancouver and Fraser Valley areas, whether that be news, market updates, neighborhood guides, educational information. This is absolutely a go-to spot for anything when it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate in the Vancouver area of British Columbia, Canada. As I said, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you are new here, definitely make sure to subscribe. I create a lot of great content and will continue to do so moving forward. You can also check out our Instagram page. It is at Bridgewell Group. We have a lot of different educational material on there, also new listings and sales if you're into all that. So definitely make sure to check out our Instagram because we are very, very active on there as well at Bridgewell Group. So getting into today's topic, I am going to be talking about selling a condo, the top tips that I have when it comes to selling a condo. And this is really a big one for me. We deal with a lot of home sellers, a lot of condo sellers, and it's very different than, selling a townhouse or selling a detached home. There are a lot of nuances when it comes to selling a condo. And so I'm going to give you my top tips to make sure that you come out on top and that you are successful in your condo sale no matter what the market is. Okay, so getting into the top tips, starting off with the number one tip, and it might be tied with the one that I'm going to say second, but starting off with one of the top tips, it's definitely price right the first time. And so I could talk about listing price and listing strategy for an entire video and more probably, but for the purpose of this conversation, I'm just going to try and simplify it for you. And really, when you are listing a home, you have a couple different options. You have the option to price below market value. You have the option to price at market value. You have the option to price above market value. And each one of these are different strategies that are decided between the listing agent and the seller based on the seller's goals, preferences, thoughts, all of these things, right? Now, market value, how you determine market value is typically based on recent comparable sales. So first of all, you have to determine what is recent based on what type of market you're in, right? When the market was really, really hot, say back in 2021, recent was, the market was changing week to week. Recent was within 7 days. Now where the market is slower and the sales ratio is much lower, recent, is obviously best within 30 days, but sometimes we're pulling 60 to 90 days and we're having to adjust for market changes, right? So recent comparable sales. Now, what's the most comparable? When we're dealing with a condo, it's always going to be in your building or at least in your strata because it's going to be representative of your contingency reserve fund savings, your strata as a whole, how things are depreciating, special levies, all of those things. So comparable sales always going to be best in your building or in your strata. But if there's nothing available that has sold recently in your building or strata, maybe you're looking in your sub area for similar properties that offer a very similar location. There may be exceptions to this, and as I said, determining market value is a very intricate process that a realtor will be able to help you with. But ideally, to determine market value and what buyers are paying for similar properties to you at this point in time, you're looking for those recent comparable sales that offer similar details, such as if you're a 2-bed, you want to look at 2-bed properties that have sold. If you're a 1-bed den, you want to look at 1-bed den properties that have sold. So that's how that works. Now, I think that when it comes to listing strategy, something that a lot of people don't always consider is also taking into account what other active competing properties are listed for, right? And this is really that strategy portion of it. Where are you going to fit in that will promote a sale at the end of the day, right? So again, taking into consideration what the market conditions are, what sales ratios are like, this is really super key to your success. Pricing right the first time is always going to be a huge benefit and really the best tip that I can give you when it comes to selling a condo, with the exception to what I'm going to talk about next, which is number 2. Not a plug for myself. You guys can use whatever realtor or whichever realtor you want to use, but definitely choosing an experienced realtor. but not just an experienced realtor in terms of like how long they've been in the business, but an experienced realtor with regards to your type of product, right? As I said in the introduction, selling a condo is very different than selling a townhouse or a detached home. And so you want to make sure that the realtor that you are hiring to represent you in the sale of your condo is going to, know all of those nuances that come with condo sales, that they're going to be able to communicate to potential buyers or potential buyers agents, right? Why your building is the best, or why your unit is the best, or if there are issues with your strata documents, being able to really make people feel comfortable with those, or understand how to explain contingencies, special levies, what's coming up in the building, all of those things compared to other units as well and other buildings. So hiring a realtor that is experienced with regards to condo sales is definitely going to be very important. Specifically on the listing side, you want to check and see, like, do they have condo listings? Have they sold condo listings? Have they been successful in those sales? Have they been similar to yours? What has that experience been like? So definitely when you are looking to interview a realtor, those are questions that you might want to consider asking, is, just what their condo sale history is, and how they are able to properly communicate to people coming through about condos and the benefits of your condo unit. So my third tip is to try and stage your home to its benefits the best that you can, or at least keep it clean and ready for showings. So just basic. I mean, try and minimize any very strong smells, like strong cooking smells. Try and, remove any, evidence of pets or pet litters, anything like that could also create a strong smell, or any form of like an allergy for someone. Try and depersonalize your home a little bit. So it's not necessarily just in terms of like your privacy and stuff as well, but also you want home buyers coming through to be able to envision themselves in your home. And sometimes that's easier when you don't see, constant memories of the ones that you've created in that home. So doing those initial things, and obviously, keeping your house clean, clearing off your countertops, making your bed, making sure that the, couch and the living room area is all nice, dining tables clear, things tucked underneath. Those kind of basic things are really going to help to create a good impression once they actually are in your home, to hopefully promote that offer moving forward. Generally, the better that you can show that you keep your home really well, the more confidence that they'll have in writing a stronger offer, because they'll feel like, oh, this person took care of their home, rather than, oh, I have to do all of these things because they don't take care of their home. And a lot of the time that perception is really reality. And sometimes just as simple as cleaning something can really give the perception like you take good care of your home. So that's really step one when it comes to this tip. I think that the next level of this is just make sure that your home is maximized to its benefits in terms of the way that your furniture is placed. Is there so much stuff in there that it actually feels smaller than it really is? Could you maybe move things around to make it feel a little bit better? And then the next level of this is obviously to get some form of staging. At Bridgewell, we do fluff staging, and we have fluff staging items in-house that we have as a part of our commission that's charged. You don't have to pay anything extra for that, right? But not everybody has that, and maybe you want to look at a third-party staging company to come in and stage your vacant space, or just make it feel a little bit better. So staging can really help. It can honestly provide a very high ROI, and so if that's something that you are looking into, then it's not always a bad idea. So tip number 4 is improvements. A lot of people will tell you actually that it has to be move-in ready, right? And I think that it definitely helps to have a move-in ready place. Cosmetics matter a lot. It's difficult to hire a contractor right now. They're booking way out. Renovations are expensive. I get that, right? And so from the buyer side of things, it is a benefit to have a place that is move-in ready. But what I will say about this is, focus on what improvements you're doing that will provide that highest ROI, right? A lot of the times painting will provide a high ROI, especially if the colors there are very distracting or very strong. A lot of the times renovations to the kitchens will provide a high ROI. Bathrooms will provide a high ROI. Flooring often provides a high ROI, right? But what parts of that provide a high ROI are really the questions that you need to ask yourself, right? And I think that when you're also looking at ROI, you have to consider how much is that cost going to be to you? And then how do you compare to other units on the market and what are they like? Are you actually the best unit on the market, regardless of whether you're renovated or not, just because inventory is low? Well, maybe it's not necessary to do those renovations, right? But if every other product that is on the market is renovated, then what you're going to have to do is understand that you're likely going to have to price factoring in that people are going to need to do renovations. And then also what is that cost of renovation, but also the time cost of renovation that somebody is going to factor in. So considering what improvements to your home are going to yield the highest ROI based on what the cost is, what the improvement is, and what other units on the market that you're competing with are renovated to as well. So moving on to tip number 5, it is make sure that all of your condo documents, history, fee information is all collected and correct when you list, or at least within the first 7 days of you listing. General standard, I would say, is that most listing agents are going to be the one that will pay for your condo documents from the property manager. This is, always our standard. I know that some realtors don't do that. So just be aware of what's included or not included when you're going through the conversation about commission and what's being charged. But generally, most realtors are going to be ordering the strata documents for you. So this includes stuff like the Form B, where the strata is going to confirm how much is in the contingency. Are there any levies that are approved and outstanding? Confirming the parking stall number, confirming the storage locker number if applicable. Are there any, civil resolution tribunals that are going on right now? All of these things is in the Form B. Maybe a depreciation report, typically the last 2 years of strata minutes, annual general meetings, bylaws, rules, all of these documents. And it's nice to have the realtor order it for you because it's coming directly from the property manager rather than it coming from you. Maybe there's some kind of complication where you missed something. You just don't want to be on the hook for that. It's just nice to have it go through the property manager, and then really that responsibility and liability has just shifted. So making sure the condo documents are all prepared for the buyer is going to be a big one, because the buyers are often going to ask to review that sometimes before they write an offer, just to feel confident in what they're writing an offer on and kind of do their due diligence ahead of time. But certainly it is extremely common to have a subject to strata documents in an offer, and you are going to need to have all of those documents ready to go to give to the buyer at that point in time in order for them to move forward with the ultimate sale of your condo. Making sure that you're also aware of what your condo fees are, and that they're accurate and updated as per the most recent annual general meeting. Making sure that you have history on any special levies that you've paid specifically within the last 5 years, and anything that's coming up. So just gathering that information so that you're ready, that you can factor it into, of course, any value of your home. If there's a $80,000 special levy that is being voted on and proposed, that's something that might affect your market value and will probably be something that you'll want to be factoring in when you are deciding on the appropriate listing price compared to other sales or active properties on the market. So this is really a big one, and it's more just about that organization, documentation, and just making sure that you're setting proper expectations when it comes to buyers coming to view your home and what the actual state of the strata is. So tip number 6 is prep for a home inspection. And so it is very common to have a subject to inspection on an offer. And this is where the buyer is going to hire a third-party inspector to check the components of the home, whether that be plumbing, heating, electrical, sometimes appliances. Maybe they're going to check for moisture behind the tiles or around the toilet, or any ceiling stains for history of water damage, things like that. And so they're going to basically figure out what is working, what is not working, and what the repair and maintenance schedule is likely like moving forward. So if you've had anything on your to-do list for a very long period of time where you're just like, this isn't working and I've been meaning to fix it, now is definitely the time to do it. I mean, if you can prepare for that home inspection in advance and just kind of minimize the amount of things that can come up, the inspection is often the most stressful part for the buyer, and it's where they freak out the most. So if you give them less amount of reasons to freak out, that's always going to be a good thing. But sometimes it's about setting that expectation too, right? If you're not willing or able to fix those things, it's just about letting them know in advance so that they can factor that into the offer or factor that into the decision on whether they'd like to make an offer. So making those disclosures on what is not working can be another way to prep for a home inspection as well. So moving on to tip number 7, it is be as accommodating as possible with regards to your showing requests. I know that this can be a lot sometimes, but it really is going to yield the best results for you in the long term. At the end of the day, the more showings you have, the more likelihood you have at getting an offer and the more likelihood you have at getting your home sold. Showings and buyer's tours can be really difficult to organize as a buyer's agent, right? I mean, you have multiple people's schedules, like you as the seller, the buyers themselves. Oftentimes, if there's like a couple, they work opposite schedules, or if you want to have a parent there, all these things. There's a lot of different factors and a lot of different schedules that come into play, in addition to the agents that want to attend and represent you as well. Sometimes it is lining everything up on tours, other listings that they're going to see as well, show at particular times, and they're trying to fit everybody in within a set amount of hours. So if you can be accommodating, especially when you know people are on tours, that can really help to increase the likelihood of your home being shown. And then, as I said in the previous tip before, making sure that when they are there, that it does show really, really well, because oftentimes, you might not be at the top of somebody's list on their tour, but then all of a sudden, showing it in person or seeing it in person compared to other properties, it can feel a lot different when they're physically there. So just trying to maximize on that opportunity when they are actually there viewing. And last but not least, my tip number 8 is to pack up and tidy at the same time. This is just efficient for you. You're going to be, getting the house nice and ready, or your condo nice and ready for showings anyways. It's a great idea to, make sure that as you're tidying, pack things away, try and organize all the boxes, maybe put it into your storage, tuck them away in the closets, and just try and slowly chip away with it as you go, because you are going to want to keep your keep your home clean all the way through, not just for photos, not just for the first showing or the first open house. You want to keep it clean all the way and in show home ready condition up until it is sold. So those are my 8 tips for you guys today. So just as a recap, we have priced right the first time, hire the right realtor for you that has experience in selling a condo, staging your condo if you can for its benefits, but at least making sure that it's clean and tidy for showings and open houses. We have make improvements based on return on investment, and make sure to consider your competing active inventory and how renovated they are. We have organize all of your condo documents. Make sure that everything is prepped and that you have all the proper information with regards to your condo and your strata. Number 6, we have prep for an inspection. We went through that. Number 7, we have be as accommodating as possible for showings. And number 8, last but not least, just a personal tip, we have pack and tidy at the same time, and make sure your place is nice all the way through the life of the listing. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. These are really my top tips when it comes to selling a condo. I could probably go into more. There's a lot of things when it comes to a condo, but these are the big ones that I think you should take into consideration. If you are thinking about selling your condo, specifically if it's in the Greater Vancouver or Fraser Valley area, definitely feel free to reach out to me anytime. Again, my name is Mariko with Bridgewell Real Estate Group. I am very, very experienced when it comes to condo sales. I deal with condo sales all the time, whether that be, investors that have condos, first-time home sellers, sellers that have lots of experience but are living there. I deal with so many different condo sales all over the Lower Mainland, and so I've got a lot of different experiences with regards to being able to identify good buildings, bad buildings, communicate that, and really highlight your condo to its absolute best ability. So feel free to reach out to me if you are looking to sell a condo specifically, but also if you are interested in buying or investing in condos. I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you want more content like this moving forward, as I said before, definitely make sure to subscribe. If you have any ideas for me on what kind of videos you want to see, I love a comment, and I'm always looking for creative inspiration on what kind of videos you guys are interested. So definitely make sure to leave a comment down below, and have an awesome day, guys. Thank you so much for watching.